Welcome to Punters Inside Run. The championships are over, but the last day of the carnival in Sydney is still with us. Two Group 1s there, the All-Aged and the Champagne Stakes. And at Sandown, plenty of prize money on offer, including the $1 million showdown. James Lamb is still on break. Mick Sharkie joins me as always. At Sandown, set weights and penalties a lot of these races, so they appear on paper to be a little bit, is it possible to be easier?
Well, yes, but this meeting every year gets me, and I get super excited about, oh, this horse is dropping back from this class. This looks like a superstar. Oh, look how well this horse is placed. You know what? There's often upsets on this day. Throw in some potential heavy rain on Saturday as well. Might be a trickier day than it looks at Sandown. All
right, today we'll look at the $1 million showdown. We'll look also at the size guineas, so the two main races from Sandown. Alex Donnelly will make his debut here on Punters Inside Run. He's from punters.com.au and he'll join us to look at those two Group 1s in Sydney, the Champagne and the All-Aged. Shark will have his perm as always, and the perk remains in Sydney for the final day of the carnival. All right, Shark, let's get to the $1 million showdown. Plenty of prize money on offer here at this race over the 1,200 metres. She's All Shenanigans was ultra impressive in the Gold Rush, won by over 4 lengths. Now gets to maybe a wet track.
Wet track would be the unknown, but it's seen it once in the debutante way back in the spring when it ran okay. It wasn't poor on the wet ground, and I think inexperience was probably a factor there too. You just can't ignore that Bendigo win, can you? She absolutely blew them off the park. The good form through Show Royale and also Bossy Nick really shining through with this filly. She's All Shenanigans, so she's on top for me. I do think there's one danger, and that's Butch Cassidy.
Well, you're keen on Butch Cassidy when it went to Sydney, but it didn't handle that track.
No, look, it was 30-1 on a bottomless track in the sires. It was sort of there until the pressure went on, and then his wheels were spinning. So I think we have to be a little bit forgiving of that. He comes back to this grade. If he wins, I don't want to be losing. They're the two I'll back.
All right, so give us your top 3 then for the showdown.
8, She's All Shenanigans on top from number 1, Butch Cassidy, and in for 3rd, Apache Song. A little feel-good story in the race. Mick Trotter with a nice horse in the field.
Yeah, he's had a good couple of seconds, couple of good runs, got to the line nicely. I've got Apache Song to come in 3rd, but I've got Critique, just as to unknown on a wet track, but I thought it was a good soft win, similar to She's All Shenanigans. So I'm just hoping that with the stable going well, that Critique can do that. She's All Shenanigans 2nd, and as Mick mentioned, I've got Apache Song in to run 3rd in the showdown. Right, we get to the $500,000 race, the size guineas. It's over the mile. Running by closed very well in the Bendigo Guineas and has some heavy track form in the Crockett Stakes.
It looks like her race, doesn't it? You know, coming 3rd up into this race off a really good run at Bendigo when it hit the line really well. Just had to sort of get through, and once it did, it picked up rapidly and was very strong through the line. I think she's the starting point in this race. She's favourite for a reason on the back of that run. A few of these have been around for a bit. Maybe this is the race that sends them off to the paddock, hopefully on a high note for the connections. King's Consort's fresh into the race.
The new one, yep.
So maybe he's the horse that kicks off here and then heads north to potentially Queensland for the winter. This might be a good launching pad for him. He's a really nice horse. He's got over nearly 800 grand in the bank. You know, he's your benchmark in terms of performance, but I think running by, this is her race to lose. King's Consort number 1 next best, and Bel Air in for 3rd.
All right, well, I've got running by on top. I couldn't agree. Everything you've said there gets the mole 3rd up, looks suited. I've got Toronto Terrier. 4 of them went over the line in a blanket finish in that Gold Reef. Toronto Terrier shouldn't have. It was wide the whole way, so I thought that was the best run out of that race to come 2nd. Has run on a soft track behind Half Cabin, which is good form. And as you mentioned, King's Consort is the class runner of the race, fresh there. So I've got running by to beat Toronto Terrier and King's Consort. Let's get to your best bet and your value bet at the day at Sandown.
I think we are on the same wavelength here. Let's get it early, Matty. Race 1, number 2, El Patroness, coming back from 2 runs, a very unlucky run at Group 1 level in the Australian Cup, and then went to Sydney for the big show for the Queen Elizabeth there, and was probably outclassed, you would say, but way back to what's essentially a benchmark 100. I think she should be winning this, and they're giving us a price too to play. So happy to back El Patroness. My value bet, race 8, number 8, Typhoon Harmony. Really keen on this horse each way. I think he's one of the best each way bets of the day anywhere across Australia on Saturday.
I'm with you, as you said, El Patroness is my best of the day. Get on now, take the price, because we're going to start the day with the winner. Already a Group 1 winner, as you say, and this is a race that it should be winning, loves a wet track. And I've gone with Lombardo for some value. comes back from much tougher races. Second up, pulled up lame after the race. Hasn't won for a while, but did run really well in this race last year before going on to win the Goodwood Handicap, a Group 1. So well weighted here is Lombardo. That's my value. Race 6, number 2. That's it for Sandown.
All done.
We've still got plenty to do because Alex Donnelly will join us next to talk about the 2 Group 1s for the final day of the carnival up in Sydney.
If you're in love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.